What's up, guys? Welcome back to Mikey Yourself. And this week's video, it's kind of simple, but it's something that's annoying, and if you don't know, you don't know, right? Like you don't run into this issue, or you don't know how to fix it, you just kind of assume you're stuck. So let's take a look what the hell I'm talking about. Road King owners, and I'm sure owners of other bikes, but definitely the Road King, especially the Road King that doesn't have the little access panel to be able to loosen or tighten your handlebar clamp bolts so you can adjust your bars. If you're like me, then you've opened this bucket up probably a half dozen times, and during that process have either made the mistake of tightening things too much or not addressing old stuff. So if you look, like this one's missing. I got these here, some of them, like the thread part is not there, so you got the rubber around it, but not the threading, right? So the question is, how do you fix these? Like, what are they? You know, that kind of stuff. Let's take a look. All right, so these are well nuts. Okay, you can find them online. You can go to, I think, Harley. You have to buy them, like, I think individually. I don't know if they sell them in packs, but depending on where you go, they may be a little expensive. So I found them on eBay. So this is the guy, I guess they're an audio shop or whatever, but I don't care where you get them from as long as it's the right size, right? So just want to show you here on the phone, these are 10 by 32s or 10 by 6-32, right? So they fit, this part here fits a 5/16 hole, okay? And so ultimately what you would want to do is just kind of, to prove it out, slide it in there. And the way it works is kind of like a nutsert. So if you know what a nutsert is, you got a thread on one side, so you're going to put that in, you'll put your screw in, and as it tightens down, it's going to essentially mushroom this thing, and that way it stays in place, right? And then you've got a repaired or a new nut, well nut for these things. So like I said, over time these things get beat up, they're like hard as a rock, so they probably need to be replaced from time to time, and not a bad idea, especially if you're investing in higher end lighting. You don't want your stuff to fall apart. That would be a bad day. So let's go ahead and put these replacements in, and I got one more thing we're going to take a look at. All right, so before I put in these new ones, I just wanted to compare the old, so you can see they're sort of mushroom, but they're beat to hell. This one doesn't even have the brass threading in it anymore, and this is the new, right? So pretty simple process. Like I said, you put it in, tighten them up, and they'll be secured. So let's go ahead and let's put them on. So the pack that I got, it, like I said, it was like 10 bucks, and you get, I think, 10 of them, but you only need 8, something like that. So I've got one in each of the different holes. Now they just kind of push in there. So when you go to tighten these down, you're going to want to put a little bit of pressure up against it and use a screwdriver. Don't use like a drill or anything like that, because they're rubber, man. You're going to damage them. Ask me how I know, right? So we're going to put our bucket framing on to get things started, but like I said, remember, you're going to want to hold it in place because they haven't been mushroomed out just yet. So if you don't hold it, it could possibly fall out on you and smack your fender or something. You're not going to be happy about it, right? So really, I mean, to be quite honest, it's as simple as tightening these things down and you're done. So let me go ahead and grab the screwdriver and start tightening them down a little bit. Okay, so once you get them in, you're just going to want to tighten them down. You'll feel it. You don't want to, like, I mean, you don't want to monster through them. You'll feel them get tight. And then just kind of work your way around. If you need to, like, maybe depending on how your thing sits in there, if it doesn't sit nice and flat, maybe use some like blue painter's tape to help hold it in place for you, so that way you have both your hands available. But it's all pretty simple, and that's how you get that fixed. So I recommend getting them through eBay. I think you'll get a much better deal than if you try to buy them. I heard some people going through the local hardware store. I looked at Lowe's and Home Depot, and I think they were like $2 a piece, right? So you're paying half that if you go through eBay. Just my 2 cents. I'm gonna put this together. Let's jump to the next thing I wanted to show you guys. Okay guys, so here's the other thing I was talking about, and that is I'm replacing the mid-frame air deflectors that I had. I had the black ones. If you remember, I chopped up the right side because I'd put the air gauge there. I relocated my air gauge by the horn, and so I took off the black ones. And I was, you know, I only had the black ones because I was skeptical of the chrome, right? But when you got a bike that has a lot of chrome, it's nice to have more chrome, right? Like, how do you know, might not get you home, but yeah, if you know the saying, you know. Anyhow, so I bought these. I forget what the brand is. Again, it's not one of the big names, but just wanted to share with you. And that this is not so much like, you know, how to put it on, because I already did that video. I just want to share with you the quality of this, because if you're on the fence like I was on buying these just because you're not too sure how good the chrome's gonna look, I gotta say it's not too bad. Let me take you outside. Let me get a little bit of sunlight on it, but they're actually pretty decent. Now look, it's not, I mean, it's a mirror finish, but it ain't metal chrome, right? I can tell you that, but it looks good, so no complaints. We'll put them on and we'll see what it looks like on the bike, because I am going to be curious to see how it flows, right? Because as we're on the bike, it's going to go from kind of this chrome blue to the black to the chrome in the middle. So I want to know, will it flow well because of the engine being there and the chrome there? It should, but who knows? So let me go ahead and throw them on. We'll take this thing outside and take a look. So there you go. They look actually really good. It kind of blends in actually. And depending on the angle, they almost look black sometimes. But I think they flow pretty well. The big question will be how, you know, durable they are. Will they stand up to time? And in order to do that, we're just gonna have to revisit this. Probably not within 30 days. We'll wait a little bit longer and see how long these things actually last. So there you go, easy peasy. All right guys, that's gonna be a wrap for this week's video. 2 simple things. One is really just more about the product, the quality of it. So I'll throw the link to the to both things actually in the description. So if you're looking to get those well nets, you don't know where to find them, eBay. It was quick, easy, and putting them in, not a problem. Cheap enough to where they're not like heartache to replace. The other thing are those mid-frame deflectors, the quality of the chrome, the look of it. I think it's great so far, but time's gonna tell. We'll see what it looks like after they've been sitting in the sun. Like, I keep my bikes covered, but they get exposed a lot. So if they're gonna break down, I think they're gonna break down relatively quick for me, and I'll be able to provide you that feedback. They're dirt cheap. They're like 20 something bucks. So if you had to replace them, say once a year, 25 bucks a year, you probably pay more for your streaming service than that. So, you know, up to you. Either way, we'll see how it goes. And until my next video does post, I hope to see you in the win.